Hey everyone, my name is Diana Darling, and a lot of people have asked me how I do my Christmas trees. So I thought I would start with this very, very sad tree. For those of you who have procrastinated and put your tree up, and maybe you have people coming over, I see you, I hear you, I love you, and I'm here for you. I'm going to make this very sad tree look very pretty, and I'm going to show you how you can make any tree look really super fantastic and very festive, even if you only have a small budget, or if you just have a small tree, or if you got a tree at Goodwill, or if you got a tree at any thrift store. So the first thing that we're going to do is, well, I already did it, which was to snip off the little letters that come on it, A and B. This tree was $15 and it looks super sad right now. So the first thing we're going to do is snip off those little letters, A, B, C. I think when you're putting up a tree the next year, you can tell which pieces are smaller and build to the top. I don't think we need those big giant letters on the trees anymore. So you can cut them off. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to pull out every single branch and make it look super full, because right now a lot of people don't do this. I don't know why, but when they pull out the tree, they just really don't go to the trouble to unstick the branches. And that makes a huge difference. So we're going to do that right now. Okay. Okay, as you can see, I pulled out every single branch and it's already looking better. But you know what would make this tree even better is some lights. Every tree needs some twinkle lights. So we're going to do that and I'm going to be right back. Okay, we're back and we've got lights. And here they are, and they look so cute. Now, I would have just used plug-in lights if I had some, but I don't have any, so I'm just using the battery operated. It would be better if I had time to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and just pick up some, because I'm going to tell you that it actually is more expensive for the battery ones. And in the long run, you have to keep changing the batteries. However, that's what I had for now, and that's what we're working with right now. The next thing that I'm going to show you is, now every single tree that I build, I always start with gold and silver and pearl or white or whatever base colors that you're going to use, like something neutral. And for me, that's always gold and silver, and usually like a pearl or a white. But you can use beige, you can use like a rose gold if you want to, whatever color that you like. And the easiest way, so right now I'm not going to use, I usually do bulbs, but right now I'm just going to do some gold and silver, like little twigs and things, little sticks, and what do you call those, picks, just to kind of spruce it up. And the easiest way to make a really sad tree look very happy is to throw some sparkle on it. So you might say, well, Diana, I don't really like glitter. Well, I don't really like your piss poor attitude. So we're going to have to lose the tude and get in the mood. I love glitter. And if you don't, well, you're just going to have to switch to something else. I don't care if you throw sawdust in it. If you want it to look really, kind of flat and dry, that's up to you. But I'm going to use glitter, and that's probably you're going to see a lot of glitter on a lot of my stuff, because I'm a real I like to throw sparkles on everything. So we're going to start building it, and I'm going to start putting some little gold branches in so that it can give it a little bit more of a sparkly and gold base. And I will be right back. Okay, so I found this gorgeous gold and silver garland, and it has all these branches on it. And I'm just going to cut them off and put them on the tree. And this was 50% off of $17.99. So it was only $8, and you can get a lot out of this because there's so many branches on it. But you can also go bulbs. You can do, I like to actually sometimes use like the foam bulb, so I can just like push them in. But we're going to try this and see how it goes. Okay, I'm back. So now with a few gold and silver, these are like, they have gold and silver on the branch, and it's already made the tree look so much prettier and just more elegant. And the next thing that I'm going to do actually is I took some long tulle that it's on these big rolls. They have them at home, and they're very cheap, maybe like a couple bucks for big rolls. And so I cut them, I folded them up, and then I folded them on like several times. And now I have these little circles of like tulle, and I'm just going to kind of like fold them and then fold them again, kind of like you're making a little salami charcuterie. And then I'm just going to actually staple it, and it comes out like super cute like this. Like you can just kind of see, and then you can just like see where there's little dark spots like this. I just like stick some in there just for like a little something. Oops, let me pull that out. And so I'm going to stick some of these in there and just fill up those little dark holes that you're going to, like you can see some like here and all the way down. So I'm going to fill up some little holes. Now, normally when I started with the gold kind of like branches and picks, I would normally do that in the end. But since I'm not starting with bulbs and I'm just starting as a gold and silver base, that's why I filled the tree up first with those branches as opposed to doing it in the end. But, however you want to do it is fine. It's just normally it's easier to just kind of stick at the end where there's holes. But since we're starting with holes and we're starting with nothing, we're going to start with that. So I'm going to fill out these little little salami charcuteries, and then I'm going to come back and show you how that looks. Okay, so now we have our little I don't know what you call them, roses. And the reason why I'm doing this, like where I'm sticking them far in, because I'm actually going to put the ornaments on the outside. Now, a lot of people, when they build a tree, they just put ornaments on the outside of the tree and they're just kind of like hanging off the tree and sort of, but there's no dimension to the tree. And when you do it this way, it's like all parts of the tree. So you might not see this tulle. When we're done, you might not see these little tulle roses. It's really just to give it some sparkle or something interesting to look at inside of the tree, like inside of where the ornaments will be. And that makes a huge difference when people look at your tree. It gives it a lot more of an artistic, dimensional realm that you don't get from just hanging ornaments outside of your tree. And that's going to make also the tree look a lot bigger and just a lot happier and a lot fuller and just more gorgeous. So we're going to move on to the next, which is I'm going to start putting some actual like tree branches that will make it look really because these are just these like very kind of cheap branches, but to make it look like a little bit more of an expensive tree, actually a lot more of an expensive tree, we're going to add some different types of branches in here and maybe some little berries and things to kind of like give it that more expensive look when you have a lot of variety. So I'm going to go grab that. Okay, so I'm going to start with these are just so adorable little branches. They don't have any sparkles for those of you that want like a rustic tree, and you can just use something like this or different types of little picks. I got these off of an old wreath that I had. So I just pulled them off. Just, use what you have or go outside and just grab some branches. Honestly, you don't really need to spend a lot of money. Just get creative, find some cute bushes. And if there's cute leaves on them, just put those on them. I mean, you don't really need to do all this, but these just last longer because they are fake, but they look so cute. And so I'm just going to kind of add these in, and then I'm going to show you guys. You guys, oh my gosh. Look at how cute it's already looking. I love it. See how it's got like these little like wispy branches now, which are so cute. And it's a lot more like realistic looking as opposed to just like a kind of, plastic tree. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab more branches, but different kind. Okay. Okay. I'm back with more glitter. Can you believe it? Okay, I got these picks and they come with like several branches, like 3 branches on one. So these were $2.99. They were 50% off at home. So they were $1.50 and you can get 3 branches out of them. And, but like I said, if you have something else that you have at home that you want to use, I took some of these off and I'm going to put these in the tree and then we're going to go from there. Okay, now that just gave it like a little more of a variety. And then I have these, which are kind of rustic, with just a little bit of sparkle. And this is kind of like gives it that like first frost look, where it's not really like, it's still a green tree, but maybe it has like a little bit of dew on it or something like that. So it kind of gives it a little bit of a more realistic forest look. And I like just kind of mixing everything together. So we're gonna take the branches off of this. This again was 50% off at Home. And you know what? You don't really need to have all these things. I'm just a big fan of things that you can just like stick in the tree, because it's less that you have to like tie down, and they tend to stay really, really well. So I do like that. Okay, I'm going to put these in and see where we're at. Okay, so here's where we're at with the tree. Now I do want to just make a quick little note that when you're putting these little picks type branch type picks in the tree at the top, you're going to want to put them like where they're going upward. And as they come down, you want to sort of accordingly start to, taper them down. And the reason is because you don't really want branches just sticking out here. And also when you put these original gold things in, little gold branches, you kind of just want to put them like, so they can be seen like there, or place them like, sideways or something, where you can actually see the little gold like that. And so that way you can actually see your creation, as opposed to like where if they're just sitting on a branch flat, it's going to be a lot harder to see. And also it's going to be a lot harder to cover up those dark spots. So now I think that the tree actually looks like super adorable just as it is. And if that's all you wanted to do, then you have like a nice, beautiful, just very Christmassy green tree that would look stunning. With any tablescape. You could put this in your dining room. You could even just, if you didn't really want to do a lot of decorating, you could just leave it like this in your living room, or put it on a little stand. This is, I think, like 5 feet tall. And so that would be just perfect, like as it is. But I'm the type of person that I just like to keep putting stuff in the tree. If you have things, like the Dollar Tree was selling a lot of ornaments in a tube for $1.25, and they had gold and rose gold and green and red and burgundy and all kinds of colors. And so I do have some of those. And so I'm going to put some, most of my house this year is all red and green. I went very classic Christmas, but I am going to add just a little bit of the kind of rusty red also, like a rusty kind of rose gold to it. Just to give it a little warmth, and let's just see how that looks. And if it doesn't look good, you can always take it out. Doing a tree should be really fun and playful. It should be a way to just create something. And if you don't like it, you can always take it out, and that's not a big deal. And a lot of the stores take everything back. So, the Dollar Tree does not, but you can donate it, and it was only $1.25. So if you get your ornaments at Hobby Lobby or at Home, and here is an advantage to getting your ornaments and your tree very late in the season, is that everything is much cheaper. And then you have it for next year. So, this tree was only $15, and it is a 5-foot tree. It's a slim tree, but you know what? Slim trees are actually, can be still very pricey. And if you get them with the lights, they're even more pricey. But I personally would have rather got a tree with lights. But at the same time, if you put your own lights in, it's cheaper because you can get a lot more lights for a lot less. So that's another tip. Anyway, I'm going to start putting in the colorful bulbs, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I forgot that I actually had bought this from At Home, and it was $9.99, but it was 50% off. And so, I'm going to use this because it does have a few like little like pearlish kind of silver ones as well. And it has like different colors on it. And then I'm also probably going to add some red because the rest of my house is red and I do love red. So I'm just going to kind of mix it up and see how it looks. Okay. Okay. I'm back, and we have added the sort of Merlot and kind of like a rusty rose gold to it. It's giving it like some warmth. I think I'm going to add like a little bit more of a kind of minty green to it just to give it some um, little difference in color. And then I'm also going to add some red because Christmas to me is not totally Christmas unless it's red. But I mean, you know what? That's up to you. Whatever Christmas is to you is what you want to do. And so I'm going to add those colors. I did stick some bulbs like farther in and then on the edges so that it kind of like looks, more full, more dimension. But as you can see, the tree is looking so much prettier than when we started, which I know that's every tree, but some tree just looks great, just even with lights. And this one, unfortunately, did not. It was a sad tree. And I have seen trees at Goodwill that did need some help. And maybe you have a tree that is it just looks very, very cheap. And so this is, a way to make it look expensive without it really being expensive. Okay, so here is what's happening, and I'm going to tell you that this is exactly what happens to me with every single tree. I have an idea, and then it sort of evolves into something else as I'm doing the tree. So I actually don't really love this like rusty, I don't know what it is, but the tree is looking a little too orange for me. So I'm actually going to take these off, and I kind of like loved it when it was just like a little bit more of a green tree, and I'm going to see how it looks without the rust and then just leave it like the red and the Merlot. And then if I still don't like it, I'm just going to take those off and just stick with the gold and silver and the kind of a minty green look, and we'll see how that looks. Okay. So here is where we're at. I didn't like the colors. I don't know why. I love red. I love colors on a tree. But I just liked it. It was looked so sweet with just the green. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add these. So right now, here's where it is. I do like it with the gold and the silver and the green. I think it looks really, really pretty. But I am going to add something, but maybe just a touch of color instead of like really in your face. And maybe that's just because the tree is very small. I'm not sure, but you'll see when you're decorating, and just be aware of, just keep standing back and seeing if you like it and then just change it up. I mean, it's not anything to really be freaked out about, because if you don't like something, just change it. That's how I feel. And I do that. You know what? I was a hairdresser for years, and if I dyed my hair and I didn't like it, I would just change it, or, nothing is really permanent, and it's just a tree. In the end, at the end of the day, it's just a Christmas tree, and you can always change it and make it how you like. And it actually forces you to be more creative, because you start thinking of more ideas while you're doing it, or you start changing your ideas. And that's really what creativity is all about. It's not always like the plan. It's always, it's about just kind of like having fun and going with the changes that come while you're doing something, and just try not to get frustrated, because it should be a fun thing, and Christmas should be fun, and we lose sight of that. So anyway, I'm going to put these little sprigs and see how they look. Okay, so my microphone died and I had no idea, and I was just talking to you guys on mute. So anyway, I'm just going to go over what we did here, which was basically we stuck in all these little different branches of different colors, gold, silver, and some more realistic branches, like different types of branches. And then we put in some sprigs, I put in these berries, and then I didn't want like a big focal point on this tree because I already have a really big tree with, that has like a main focal point. So this is just a little corner tree in my kitchen, just like where the garbage normally goes. And so I also, I added these little, these are little sprigs that have like little branches and like little balls on them. And I took apart a little red hydrangea that I had and put it in there just so it has like a little something. But you could, if you really want this to be like your main tree and you were building this as a big tree or even a small tree, but you just want like one tree, or you want it to be more meaningful, or you want it to be more beautiful, or you want it to be more like, I don't want to say beautiful because it is beautiful, but I want to say if you want it to have more of a focal point, you can put red robins in it, or you can put birds in it, you can put angels in it, you can put your kids' turkey hand from Thanksgiving, you can put your kids' pictures in it, you can do whatever you want to have it a big focal point on the tree. But I just wanted these little bits of flowers just to kind of make it like, give it a little pop of color and to kind of like make it a little bit more Christmassy, because I do love red, but and I wanted red because it matches the rest of my house right now. But most of it is green, gold, silver, and a little bit of pearl. And honestly, this is just all I want for this little area. It balances my house really well and it's perfect for me. But this is really just a building tree to show you how you can take any little nothing tree and just turn it into something so pretty. Like, I don't know if you guys, you can see the whole thing here. And yeah, it's just like it went from being really, really just a nothing tree to like now it actually has, some dimension, and it looks much fuller because it's such a little tree. Like the branches only come to actually here, so it's sticking out quite a bit further. And that's just how you can do it, and then build it from the inside out so that you put stuff in it and then build it out so that it has a lot of artistic dimension and color and just fullness, and oh my gosh, and it's gonna just look so impressive with just so little. So you really don't need a lot. This was a very inexpensive tree, and you can do it even cheaper if you want to just collect stuff outside. Like we have pine cones on the street, and I can just put those on the street, and you can just buy a bag of those if you want. But really, like, try to think of inexpensive ways to get like volume. And for me, this is just perfect. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching. Let's try to get some likes on this video since it is my very first tutorial video. Thank you.